Hi guys, welcome back to Harvest Moon Farm. So on this day, I was using some tortillas, corn tortillas that I had in the freezer, and also some of the barbacoa that we made together a few weeks ago that I had in the freezer. And we are going to have barbacoa tostadas for dinner. So I'm using these shells, and I'm going to fry up my own tostada shells, and then we're just going to warm up the meat, and then we'll have our other toppings to go with it. So when I first started, my oil wasn't quite hot enough, but they fried up really nicely, and they were delicious. So here is the stack of tostada shells, and I made a few chips, which I burned a little bit. We still ate them. They were good. There's all of our toppings. And here is our final dinner. On this night, I just cooked some ham with brown sugar and added corn and potatoes.
So this is dinner tonight. We had a chicken pot pie. Well, we have several chicken pot pies in the freezer. I actually made two so we could have one for tonight and then one for tomorrow. I'll take some leftovers to work for my lunch. But I'm going to let this cool a little bit before I cut into it, and then I will give you a look at how it looks on the inside. So here's how that looks. You can see it's actually still pretty steamy, but the crust on my husband's bowl kind of got dumped to the bottom, but it looks delicious. So I'm going to go find my husband, and we are going to eat our dinner. Ranch marinated chicken breasts. Those came from the freezer. And then the corn is some corn that I preserved last year, and it was in the freezer as well. The salad.
It is part lettuce that I had in the refrigerator and part that came out of, that I grew in one of my green stalks. And then I just cut up some mozzarella cheese to put on the top of it.
All right, so for tonight's dinner, just gonna make a simple shrimp and pasta. Shrimp came out of the freezer, still frozen because I forgot to get them out earlier. So I'm gonna put them in a bowl of cold water and let them thaw a little bit while I get the other stuff started. And actually I just changed my mind. I'm gonna make a shrimp stir fry instead. It's one of those days, so I'm gonna get some rice started. So I'm gonna put a cup of water, a cup of rice. My rice cooker, maybe a little more. I'm going to add about a cup and a half or so of water. I'm just going to put the lid on it and set it to cook, and we'll let that go. I've got some frozen peppers. These are cut in bite-sized pieces and not bigger hunks or strips, but they will still work. Set those to the side. And then this is some broccoli cut, so I'm just going to set it to the side as well because I won't need to chop it, so I can put this away. So I've not done the best job of sticking to my pulling something out of the freezer every day. I got the pneumonia vaccination last week, and it made me so completely exhausted. For like 2 days I had no energy. So we ate leftovers a couple times, and then I got pizza one night, which I shouldn't have done, but it was really delicious. And then Father's Day weekend, which we just had, it's So we took my father-in-law to breakfast on Saturday morning. My dad came over Saturday night. We went to dinner. He spent the night with us. Where we live there, during the summertime months, there's a free concert on Saturday nights, along with our farmers market. So it's called Market and Music in the Square or something like that. But they just have local bands from the Kansas City area. Every Saturday they come, they play for a couple of hours. It's good fun. The square is beautiful at night. It's all shaded. Even though it was hot outside, there was a nice breeze, had enough shade. It was awesome. So we did that, and then my dad spent the night because it's a long drive back to his house and he doesn't see as well at night to drive. So he spent the night with us. Then we went for breakfast in the morning on Father's Day. And then we went to my mother and father-in-law's on Sunday afternoon, Father's Day afternoon. She had made some food for everyone, and so we went to that. And so I came home Sunday night feeling like, you know, you just needed to roll me because all I'd done was eat. So trying to get us back going. So we had the chicken and veggies last night, and so we're going to get this shrimp going tonight. All right, so I got some garlic out of the freezer. Let's see, what else do I want? So I'm going to mince these garlic cloves into my pan. I'm going to let that brown up just a little bit. So you just want to do this until you can really start to smell the garlic. You don't want to go any longer because then it will burn. I'm going to try and break apart my shrimp and throw it in the pan. And most of it's coming apart pretty well, and what doesn't will break apart as it heats up. So I'm just going to let this cook down until all of the ice and extra moisture is about gone. Then I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice. Let it cook down a little more, and by then our rice should be close to being done, and I will go ahead and add our broccoli and peppers in with our shrimp, and then once the rice is done we can put it all together. Alright, so I decided I was going to go ahead and make some not soy sauce. I was going to make some teriyaki sauce to go along with this. I have some store-bought orange sauce that we're going to top this with, but I want to give it that kind of teriyaki flavor. So I've got some brown sugar in my pan. I'm going to add some soy sauce and some honey. Some water. So I'm going to go ahead and add some lemon juice to my shrimp. It's cooked down quite a bit. We'll let that keep cooking. I want to really pretty much get the liquid gone. A couple of cloves of garlic. And then I need to mince some fresh ginger. And one of you guys told me that if I use a spoon, I can get the peel off. Oh, look at that, without losing so much of my ginger. Look at that. Thank you for whoever sent me that tip. I appreciate it. And look at that. If I don't break my finger off, that is awesome. I just need a little bit. You knife right here. So I'm just gonna mince this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm just mincing this pretty small, which I guess technically that's what mince means. Just run my knife over it a few times. That's probably not as small as it could be, but it's good enough. I'm going to stir this in. And then we're going to bring this to a boil. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a boil. And then I've got some cold water and cornstarch. And I'm just going to mix this together. Oops, I guess it helps if I turn on the right burner. So I'm going to mix this together to make a slurry, and then once our sauce is boiling, we're going to add this, and this will thicken up our sauce for us. Alright, let's check our shrimp. Alright, so our shrimp is good. I'm going to put it in, I'm going to put it back in the bowl. Set it to the side. I'm going to go ahead and put my vegetables in here. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil so they don't burn to the pan. We don't want these completely soft, but we don't want them super crunchy either. We want them to be a little bit cooked. I'm going to go ahead and cut up some green onions to add to this as well. Alright, so I cut up the white and quite a bit of the greens. Go ahead and add that in there. We're going to give our cornstarch slurry a little stir again. We're going to add it into our sauce. We're going to stir that in, and we're just going to let it cook. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. We're going to let that cook until it's the thickness that we like. One other thing this recipe needed was some sesame oil, which I'm out of. So I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil. So this is not going to take long. Oops. And it is, ooh, it's burning me. It's very thick already. You can see that. So I'm going to set it back here off of the heat and just let it stay warm back there. So I'm going to turn these veggies up just a minute so that I can cook off the liquid from them thawing. And then I'm going to add my shrimp back in, and I'm going to pour the sauce over the top. And I didn't get my onions completely cut, so I've got long strings of little onion circles. That's right. We are going to give our teriyaki sauce a little taste though. I think it needs a little more soy sauce. And you guys saw I didn't really measure anything. I just kind of eyeballed it. So let's stir this back in, or stir this extra soy sauce in. Get a new spoon and try it again. Ooh. Ooh, that's better. Alright, so let's add our shrimp back to our veggies. Turn that off. Add our sauce. And I think our rice is done. So I'm going to serve this in bowls. So I'm going to add some rice to each of our bowls. Ooh, this rice is nice. So I actually don't think we're even going to need this orange sauce. I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator. Alright, so let's give this a taste. So I'm going to do some rice, a pepper, and a shrimp. If I can get a hold of it. It's really hot. That's really good. All right, so that was really easy. And we do have the orange sauce if we want our dish more saucy. There is actually a little bit of sauce that's kind of sitting in my pan. I'm going to add some to my bowl. This made quite a bit, so there's still a lot left in the pan. All right, so here we go. All right, so we're gonna go eat our dinner. I'll see you guys tomorrow for whatever I've decided to make. I have a list and I don't remember what tomorrow's is. All right, so I'll see you then. All right, so today is June 21st. So we are the last day of week 3 of our June freezer challenge. So I have some marinated beef. I think it is, let's see, it was the pineapple beef. And then, so I'm just gonna cook that. I've got some little baby potatoes here that I'm just going to cook up as well. I cooked them in the microwave so that I could make like smashed potatoes with them. So very simple. I think I might add corn or green beans. We might have some corn left in the fridge. If we do, I'm going to use that. Let's see, is that one done? Yeah. Oops. And I'm super excited. I harvested the first of my potatoes today. I just dug a couple to kind of see what they were looking like, and I've got about 5 potatoes that are about this size, and then a couple little teeny tiny ones. So we'll probably eat those because the skin on those is really thin since they're new. We'll eat those here in the next week or two, but I wanted to use up these first because these are the older ones. So I just started preheating the oven to 375, and I don't even know what kind of beef, what kind of steak is in this marinade. So let's take a look. I don't want it to be dripping everywhere. So, okay, it's just some, I'm not even sure what kind of steak this is, but it's small pieces. Oh, this might have been some of the, oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's just some little pieces of beef. We're down to, I think we've used all of the actual steaks from our side of beef that we bought last year. All right, so we've got this marinated meat. Oh, I forgot what I was saying. So, really all we have left of the meat, the primary things we have left from that side of beef, we have a bunch of ground beef left still. We have 1 or 2 roasts, I believe. And then I think we have some ribs. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the oven as soon as it's preheated. And these I'm going to cook in, I think, a cast iron skillet with some butter and oil.
Think about going for a room, that is he said. Since he got kind of overcast.
All right, so I've got the butter in there. I need to refill my oil. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to use, I have some garlic infused olive oil here. I'm just going to add a little bit of that. When my dad came over on Saturday, so ever since my stepmom passed away, he's been cleaning and organizing his house. And when he organizes things, when he doesn't want them, they end up at our house. So some things are awesome. I love having them. Some things I've given to my daughter since she just moved into her first apartment. And then other things are really great. They just need to be cleaned up. So one of the things that he gave me is this old cast iron Dutch oven. It's very rusty, so I need to get it cleaned up and then re-seasoned, but I'm super excited about that because I can use that for lots of things. But I also end up with multiple of items that I already have then. A lot of the things that he's bringing me now are things that my stepmom had bought years ago. She bought some for her and some for me. And so now I'm ending up with her set, and I already have my set. But, you know, it's fine. I've got lots of kids that may want some of this stuff. And if not, there's plenty of people who could use you know, some of these items, and I can just donate some things. Okay, so I'm gonna let those potatoes, actually, let's give them a little salt and pepper. If I can get a hold of my little spoon here. So we're gonna put a little salt and pepper on these. And I'm just going to let those cook on this side until they're nice and brown. Alright, so the oven just beeped that it's ready. So I'm going to stick these pieces of steak in here. And they should not take too awful long to cook. So I don't want them to be super well done. I just want them to be cooked enough, kind of a medium, and then that will be good enough for what we want. Ooh. These are nice and brown on the other side. Get those stirred up a little bit. Okay. So I got a jar of corn. Splash it, and when we get that started heating up, put some butter in there. Oh yeah, had to make sure I turned on the right burner since I've been turning on the wrong one on this side. And I think I'm going to add, because the meat has kind of a sweet marinade, I'm going to add just a little sprinkle of red pepper flakes to my potatoes. And maybe a little onion salt. Very little bit, since this is the salt, not the powder. Ooh, that smells really good. I can smell the steak starting to cook. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off. And we're just going to let the pan just keep these warm while the steak finishes cooking. And by then our corn should be hot. Let me just make this. Our corn should be hot, and then we can eat, and that'll be a nice simple dinner. Alright, so I put 15 minutes on my timer, so I'm going to take a look at this steak and see. Ooh, goodness. Oh, it smells really good. So I'm just going to cut into a piece and see if it's done to our liking. So let's do this kind of fatter one here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. My husband actually just left to take a run. I'm starving, so I am not going to wait for him because he'll come back, take a shower, all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my plate. And then he can make his when he's ready to eat. Goodness. Okay, I'm actually going to move this over here so I can move this cookie sheet back so the animals don't get up here and pull it down and burn themselves. All right, so here's what we've got. Our corn and our steak and our potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a couple bites of the steak off and we're gonna give it a try. That's really good. So I can taste the Worcestershire sauce and the soy sauce. I don't know if I taste the pineapple or not, but it's good. Okay, so let me try one of these potatoes too. Ooh. That's good. All right, so today is the last day of week 3, as I said earlier. So this video has week 2 and week 3 in it. So tomorrow we'll start with the last, it'll be a little bit more than a week, but the last 9 or 10 days, whatever it ends up being, of the month, 9 I guess, 9, 8, whatever it ends up being, that's how many we're gonna have. And I'll just put them all in one video. So as I said, I didn't do super great at sticking to my own plan these last couple of weeks, but I still have managed to pull some things out of the freezer. I'm cleaning stuff up. We're eating the food that we already have. So I'm still gonna call it a win. And then I'll try a little harder on this final week or so of our challenge. But I just want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me while I show you all these different things that we're eating. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you are not currently subscribed, if you would consider subscribing, I would really appreciate that. It helps me out, and then it lets you know whenever my new videos are uploaded and ready to view. So I will see you guys on the next video.